Hello there, Internet, and welcome back to my continuing coverage of the February 2026 Steam NextFest. This is video number 9. At this point, I have been busy, and I've just taken a little break, rehydrated myself, etc, 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 and I'm going to record 2 or 3 more, I think, before I probably collapse or my throat gives in. It's already a little bit cloggy, so do please excuse me if it just goes all there during the course of this. Obviously, as I've tried to make clear, I record them fast and loose in NextFest. I get the videos out as fast as I can so that you all can decide which you want to download for yourselves. You know, you watch the first 5-10 minutes of my footage, it's like, oh yeah, that looks like something I might want to play. So that's the theory behind it, as well as, you know, giving any feedback to devs that they might get. So this is Misspell. Damn! I nearly broke my neck. Just bushes, roots and mud everywhere. That village elder didn't say a word about all this mess when he talked about the way to the ruins near the sawmill. East, forest, lower river valley. He even pulled out a map, smart guy. How am I supposed to navigate this thicket? Good thing there's a trail at least. Now that is a decent feeling jump. So we've got the classic swipe for a hitbox. Left at the start. Has given us a story fragment. Check the collection in the menu. The menu is not on the... oh, no, hold on. But that's weird. The menu is specifically on the right side of the touchpad. Or the start button. Resume. I'm stuck. Settings. Collections. Oh, nice. Some concept art. I like concept art in games. So, stick-only movement. We do not have D-pad movements. Jump is on X, attack is square, nothing on triangle, nothing on circle, L1, L2, R1, R2. We do have slow walking if we want it. It's a little bit slidey, but most people aren't going to use that. So, ancient wisdom, explore the world around you. It hides many secrets. Beetle! It's a very silly noise. The art style is very nicely done. I'm sorry, sir. I seem to have hit your head off. I'm going to sneeze. That's a good start to a video, isn't it? Oh. Oh dear, that hurts. Having chest pains when sneezing, not good. For a downward attack while jumping, pogo! That gives you loads of height. This door is locked. Yeah, the background art is particularly nicely done. I am a fan. Oops, I wasn't expecting to be able to jump out of that. But you can. Bit of a stock ow sound effect. Oh, we got climbing. But we've already had several enemy types. So far, combat is quite basic, which is fine. It's the opening room of the game. We are within the first 4 minutes. That's enemy type number 5. 4? 5. However many. Why? Press right trigger to use the rope. Interesting. I like the way it draws a line to the thing. Puts us in rope states. Cool. Interesting to get a grapple mechanic so early in a game. Unless you're Rusted Moss, which I think starts with it, doesn't it? Was that a loading screen, or was that a cutscene that has not triggered properly? We have wall jump. I was looking. I'm just thinking about the fact that we could. Ooh. I have a slingshot on the right stick, apparently. I was just thinking about the number of things that we can do already. Wall jumping and so on and so forth. And it reminded me that I saw a Metroidvania on the NextFest page that basically says you start with all the abilities unlocked. I was like, well, it's not a Metroidvania then, is it? If you already start with all the stuff, it's not a Metroidvania. Metroidvanias are about... I pressed the wrong button. Metroidvanias are about getting the abilities as you explore. If you don't need to explore to get the abilities, then... Oh. Glory fragment found. How close do I need to be? We got ledge grabbing. Okay, this is problematic. I'm assuming it's not supposed to automatically snap to up and left when you fire the slingshots. But it does. So every time I let go of the stick, it automatically snaps to the left. I don't know whether it's because the stick is too sensitive to drop through platforms. Maybe that's a loading screen. I don't know. Huh. Yeah, I think it might be a dead zone issue. But it is snapping. Do I have... Whoa. Whoa. Oh, I think it's because I put the controller down on the trigger. Let's try that again. Yeah, there we go. So it does work right with the mouse. And in fact, I think it's going to want me to use it here, isn't it? Has it got auto snapping on? Huh. Oh, that's just a rope point. The grapple feels good. Was there anything down here? It's all a little bit basic so far, but I can see the potential in terms of the gameplay options that we have already been given. Rope ladder. Sorted. Shortcut get. Any breakable walls? Is that a thing? Nice parallax on the windows. Hopefully they can get those load times so that essentially the load screen is invisible. They're almost there. I'm noting that we don't have any healing. X can deflect projectiles. Okay, it doesn't automatically knock them back at the enemy, which is a thing that I actually always really like. And open. Nice booming gate opening sound effects. Oh! That comes out quick. So far, the levels have been reasonably complex, with no real seeming necessity for being so. But we've opened shortcuts and stuff. Yeah, that gets us back out to the beginning. Generally speaking, in a game with shortcuts, you expect there to be some challenge. Not had any real challenge yet. Don't get me wrong, I appreciate that I've lost 4 health. But we have been playing for 10 minutes. Scarlet vines bloomed. Ah, that was that yellow flower that I just destroyed. Destroy the yellow flowers. Oh. Huh. Yeah, okay, so... Whoa, what? I didn't press that. And so there is an issue. It could simply be my controller. Ah. Yeah, I can't do it with the controller. That's a bit of an issue, but as I said, it could be my controller that's the problem. Because I've got Hall sticks, Hall effect sticks, so it's possible that they're just a bit too sensitive for this. That being said, have I got Steam input on? Does it work without? Nope. Yeah, so no native. Ooh. Oh, Misspell. Not to be confused with Muspelheim. Hello. From behind the thick shrubs comes a low, rumbling mutter, and the air around is filled with a mix of unfamiliar scents. Aubrey quietly sneaks closer and spots a stout Sahit hunched over a kettle. Now, where did those cardamom seeds go? Have you seen them? Aubrey freezes, thinking she's been discovered, but in that moment a mouse jumps out of the traveller's bag, climbs up his clothes, and neatly places a tiny pouch onto his hand. There you are, my smart girl. What would I ever do without you? Curiosity wins over fear. Aubrey steps in almost all the way and peers over his shoulder. The Sahid suddenly freezes, sniffs the air suspiciously, and spins around and raises his ladle like a rapier. Not another step! Unarmed! What is this guy's name, and why is it in whatever language that is. His eyes land on Aubrey and pure astonishment flashes across his face. Oh, I see. The names haven't been... Just me, put the weapon down. Holy pause! And who exactly is this me supposed to be? I've been travelling for years and I've never seen anything like that. Name yourself, stranger. Something like that? Do I look like a monster to you? Never seen anyone like you either. I'm not acting this rude. Oh, holy pause. Don't be upset, girl. You are a girl, right? But no harm. You just caught me off guard. Girl. Aubrey. Just call me Aubrey. I didn't expect someone as big as you to be scared of a little girl like me. I wasn't scared at all. My name is Morgiff. I'm the most renowned merchant, traveller and cook on this island. I'm not afraid of anything. Aubrey. Name sounds familiar, but I can't recall from where. That's not my real name. Village healer gave it to me. My true one. I don't remember. I've lost my memory. Wilden's helping me. Ah, so you know Wilden. Of course you do. He's always befriending the most unusual people. So what are you? Purple skin? Horns? Knowing him, you're probably some kind of forest fairy? And what are the Omnirs? Possibly? I'm an Omnir. We all look like this, or used to. Omnirs do not exist. That's just elven fairy tales. Stories for children. I've never seen anyone like you either, but I'm not calling you some kind of mythical beast folk. Fair enough. I'm from the Sahite people, from faraway lands beyond the seas, and to be honest, our folk are quite well known outside our homeland, so it's strange you've never heard of us. Since I've satisfied your curiosity, answer me this. Where did you come from? I've never seen anyone like you on this island, and I've seen a lot. From stone. Can you explain? Most of my memories, they're just gone. It's a strange story. There's hardly anything to tell. My head is a complete mess. The village elder told me to head this way so I'd find what I'm looking for, but I don't even know what that is. I just hope I'll understand when I see it. Amazing. Setting off alone into unfamiliar woods to find something when you don't even know what it is. You're a walking example of youthful courage and carelessness. He didn't want to let me go. I left on my own. He tried to talk me out of it, of course, but the village made me uneasy. Everyone kept staring at me like I was some curiosity. Poor child. No surprise with a face like yours. To be honest, I'm still not sure what to make of you myself. Anyway, dinner's almost ready. Care to join me? With pleasure. What is that amazing scent? Whatever you're cooking, I can smell it from far away. Moon beetles with oil grass and serpent bloom seeds. My signature recipe. Go on, try some. I'll pass, thank you. I don't think I can bring myself to try that, but I appreciate the offer. Ah, what a pity you don't know what you're missing. Who might that be hiding in your pocket? Madame Piripima, my loyal companion. I found her wounded in a trap set by some careless hunter. How could I leave her? If I read all of this out with what passes for voice acting, I'm just going to hurt my throat. Where does your journey lead? Or mellow? Roads exist so we can walk them. Okay. I am always torn when there is a heavy reliance in conversation like that of what are essentially stage directions, you know, the emotes written out. So she takes a curious look around, she says furtively, and so on and so forth. I generally prefer it when that kind of stuff is made clear with animation, but obviously not everybody can afford that kind of stuff, and it's nice that they are putting in the effort to have actual characters. I'm noting a real lack of well, first death. Oh, is it just saving us on screen? Okay. I was wondering how it was going to do checkpointing. I think my biggest... Oh, damn. Just walk into the enemies. I think my biggest issue so far is one of there not being much here. What is here is very pretty. I like the arts. But in terms of Metroidvania-ness, right now we've got a lot of rooms that are kind of blending together because... Really? Because there's not really been anything to find, save for that occasional... Oh, we can walk up the walls. I like that. Yeah, the actual mechanics themselves working nicely. Failed that though, didn't I? Guess I need to... Yeah. Oh, nothing there. Oof. Yeah, we're lacking kind of variety in terms of things to see and collect, you know, purposes to explore. Oh, that's a proper physics rope. It bends at the corner of objects. I've no idea how complicated that is to do, but I suspect that's probably fairly challenging. Yeah, as of right now, we're just collecting a lot of story fragments, and you know, don't get me wrong, little bits of concept art and stuff. Don't know how. Are we scrolling this as a window? It doesn't seem to scroll down. It just that's a lot. Use rope, ease rope, ranged attack, melee attack, jump. Yeah. We're 20 odd minutes in, and I'm very torn. I like it. It's very simple and straightforward. You know, we've got a mix of mechanics that are working quite well. And I really like the art, but where's the Metroidvania? Something big and webby. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, that's horrible. Thanks for that. That's a very... Oh. Oh. That's a shame. I would have liked to have seen more of that tone. Stupid, creepy spider thing. Are all of these... Oh, I can use the mouse wheel to scroll up and down here. But I can't use anything on my actual controller to do so, which is perhaps a bit of an oversight. Thoughts then? What is here is impressively competent. You know, I was particularly impressed by how that rope bent around the corner and continued operating like a proper physical rope would. I don't know how difficult that was to do. Something tells me it wasn't easy. It felt completely realistic in that regards. The enemies were all finely designed. The artistry is nice. The music has been ambient and appropriate. The sound effects have been decent. I just feel like I wanted more mechanics, which is weird for me to say because we've got attacking, we've got the slingshot, we've got the rope and so on and so forth. We've got pushing boxes. I'd have liked a little bit more feeling of impact when hitting the enemies. And I would have liked an idea as to how this was going to Metroidvania. Because if I go to the store page, this is a 2D atmospheric Metroidvania about magic and mysteries of the past. Uncover the secrets of an island risen from the ashes of a catastrophe and master a magical living vine that changes the way you fight and explore. Now, is the magical living vine the grapple hook that we've got? Because in terms of what was it doing, it was great. You know, it felt really good, but if that's your only real mechanic... Yeah, I don't know. So... Oh, actually, hold on. You play as a girl whose arm is wrapped in a living magical vine. It absorbs energy from artifacts and transforms its new abilities, letting you reach new areas and fight in new ways. Kind of a shame you didn't show us more of that in this demo. You know, what we had there was enough for, in fact, let me do this before I forget. That was enough to get me to follow and wishlist as something that is... Oh, and there is a playtest. I shall request to join that playtest. Yeah, potential there. I need more idea of the Metroidvania-ness of it, because there wasn't a map or anything, is there? Yeah. So no map. Oh, that's now working absolutely fine. This is with my controller, so it's no longer flicking in the other direction. That's weird. I wonder what was causing that. Was that a bug? Could have been. Maybe it was just an issue with how my controller was being recognised when I first booted the game up. Either way, that's working absolutely as you'd expect it to now. Yeah. So apart from that slight niggle with the writing, which is more of a personal preference than any kind of critique, and the... I feel like this is the kind of demo that would have benefited a little bit more from being a vertical slice rather than just this is the opening of the game or whatever we've got. It's not had quite enough, I don't think, to be really gripping and exciting and ooh, this is doing some interesting things. I like the grappling hook, but I've played a lot of games with a grappling hook at this point, and whilst this certainly feels very good, you know, this is a good feeling grappling hook, I can't help but feel that actually I wanted to see other things you know, a vertical slice, you know, like they did with the Chrome Sworn demo or something like that, where they specifically designed a more condensed area that showcases some of the things coming up so that you could get an idea about where the game would be going and the kind of things that could be unlocking. I've just realised you can actually see the vine on her arm, which is nice. Yeah, the setup is somewhat typical. It's an amnesiac, doesn't know anything about her past, mysterious looking character, furry NPCs, don't know how many of them there were going to be, etc, etc, etc. Yeah, it's piqued my interest enough to get me to wishlist it. And at the end of the day, that's what I say demos are all about. They're there to help you decide whether this is something you wish to invest in further, either through time, money, or both. And this has done just enough to get onto my wish list. So there we go. 30 minutes of Misspell, a game that I'd never heard of, and I'm reasonably interested in, but I would need to see more of what it's going for. And obviously, if you're going to advertise as a Metroidvania, where's your map? Where's your map? I'm obsessed. Thank you for watching, folks. Have yourselves a fabulous day. That is demo number 9 complete. Onwards to demo number 10. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay fabulous. Cheerio. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, why not click the like button and consider subscribing. Remember, you can ring the bell notification icon to get notified when new videos go live. And until next time, cheerio.